Shalom and greetings, VFI News supporters from the land of Israel. Behind me, though, is a photo of Beirut, where I once visited in 1982, a very large and beautiful city. Well, to anyone else watching this emergency update video, I'm recording this towards the end of Shabbat, which is something I would never do under ordinary circumstances. But these are definitely not ordinary circumstances or times. I have one very good piece of news to tell you about and one very bad piece of news to tell you about. They are closely connected with each other, and I'll explain more about that in a moment. But let me first start with the good news. Late Saturday morning, the IDF issued a statement confirming that an airstrike Friday afternoon in the Batya neighborhood of southern Beirut was successful in taking out the main target of the strike, Hezbollah leader Sheik Hassan Nasrallah. This catastrophically wicked and evil man, who has led the most powerful and dangerous terrorist organization, pledged to Israel's destruction and poised on our northern border to do what they always and they wanted to do, is as of now out of the picture and eliminated. In other words, erased. Several of his most senior henchmen who were in a meeting with him in the bunker underneath this block of residential buildings in Beirut when the Israeli Air Force planes dropped bunker-busting bombs on them were also killed in these strikes. Sadly, so were also several civilians, and I don't want to sound heartless, but that's what happens when terrorists use civilians for human shields. Some in the international media are focusing on this part of the story, playing into the hands of the terrorists and actually doing their propaganda work for them. But here at VFI News, we don't play that game. While acknowledging the tragedy that civilians were killed in this incident, we say without hesitation that Hezbollah is to blame for these deaths, and any anger about them should be directed at them. On that note, shortly after the strikes, the IDF posted warnings in Arabic telling residents of the surrounding buildings to leave them as soon as possible because Hezbollah is storing powerful anti-ship missiles there and the IDF will be hitting them shortly. Now, as I'm sitting here recording this video, the Air Force is continuing to hit Hezbollah targets all over Lebanon. The stated purpose of these air and artillery attacks is to degrade Hezbollah's ability to launch weapons into Israel, as well as softening them up for a possible ground invasion by the IDF. Now let me just tell you, this day on Shabbat, Hezbollah has relentlessly been hitting the northern part of Israel with UAV attacks and rockets, hundreds of them. So let's understand this on both sides of the border, please. Now, the effort includes taking out many of Hezbollah's most senior commander men who have a great deal of training and experience fighting in the Syrian civil war and elsewhere. There might even be a few of these guys still around who fought the IDF in the Second Lebanon War in 2006. But many of them have been eliminated over the past 11 months, especially in the intensified air campaign Israel has launched against them in the last few weeks. That now includes Nasrallah himself, but it also includes Ali Karaki, who survived a recent attempt to take him down, but was reportedly in the bunker with Nasrallah on Friday afternoon and is presumed to have perished along with him. Karaki was the latest commander of Hezbollah's southern front, and most of Hezbollah's other surviving high command was also in that bunker and probably out of the fight. Unconfirmed reports say that some senior Iranian Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps officers who are part of the command structure of Hezbollah were also in the bunker and presumed dead at this point. It's also necessary to mention that Hezbollah has fired a fair number of weapons into Israeli territory, as I mentioned, since the strikes, but not nearly as many as we've always been told Hezbollah had the ability to fire, like thousands a day. I have a theory about that, and it's just a theory that many of the rockets, especially the more sophisticated ones, require computers to arm and fire them. And those computers have passwords. Maybe all the senior guys who have been killed off in the last few weeks took the passwords to these computers with them when they died, and they're underground somewhere. Who knows? It's just a theory. I'm sure what's really holding back the Hezbollah rockets is the prayers of believers like you and me. But I've been around long enough to see that the Lord can use anything to move his plans and purposes forward. Now, IDF Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Herzi Halevi had something to say as well, making a general public service announcement that this is not the end of the tools in the toolbox. The message is simple. To anyone who threatens the citizens of the State of Israel, we will know how to get to them. I'll give a big thumbs up to that sentiment. Now, I told you that I also had some bad news, and here it is. For the crime of existing, which calls the theological and ideological narratives of many people all over the world into question, Israel is being severely chastised at this moment. The condemnations of its effective efforts against those who wish to physically destroy it have been coming fast and thick from governments all over the world, including many fellow democracies who really ought to know better. U.S. rating agency Moody's has also decided to punish Israel again for the crime of fighting back effectively against a mortal threat by issuing the second credit rating downgrade this year, immediately following the news of the strike on Nasrallah and his henchmen. This downgrade, unusually, was 2 notches instead of just 1, bringing Israel's credit rating down to Baa1 from A2. I don't know all the technical jargon and all that which would allow me to give you a detailed explanation of what that means, so I'll say it in plain working class language instead. Israel is in very big trouble financially speaking, and we need to get all the help we can get. Friends, if there is a store near you that sells Israeli products, please buy some. If there's an Israeli website which you can order something from, please do so. In fact, you can go to visionforisrael.com. And if so, you can also choose to volunteer. And you can go to the visionforisrael.com website and click on the Projects tab. No donation is too big or too small, friends, when I say Israel needs all the help we can get, and I mean it. Tens of thousands of people are out of work, both Jewish and Arab alike. Hundreds of small businesses are shutting down. Public services and welfare are going to have to be cut because the government has to pay for this war, and they're going to have to cut welfare spending and raise taxes to do it. On top of all that, everything is about to get more expensive because of the credit rating cut. It's unfair and it's morally outrageous, but it's a fact of life. So again, please go to visionforisrael.com and click on the Projects tab. We appreciate your prayers and your support more than I could say ever before. And with that, the other good news is that Vision for Israel has now installed just about 400 safety bomb shelters because of your help, your partnership, your love, and your care about the Israeli people, Jewish, Arab, Druze, the household of faith, refugees, whoever they are in our country, new immigrants. It's your help that's keeping them safe. Well, until next time, friends, I'm Barry Segal, and this has been a special emergency update of VFI News from Israel. God bless you and shalom. Hashavua Tov, which means have a good week.